Jim Tucker. Bilderberg wants Mitch Daniels as Romney's VP. According to veteran Bilderberg sleuth Jim Tucker's inside source, Indiana Governor Mitch Daniels' presence at the 2012 Bilderberg Group meeting indicates that he is the elite's choice pick to become Mitt Romney's running mate. According to the source, Bilderberg members are eager to dissuade the Romney camp from choosing Kentucky Senator Rand Paul as VP, fearing that Paul's constitutionalist stance will act to derail the agenda for increased centralization of power into a system of global governance. So it looks like it's now in the Veep stakes, a straight race between Daniels and Rubio, who of course was discussed before the Bilderberg meeting. Now Mitch Daniels, as we've talked about, former Eli Lilly head during the 90s, instrumental in being the head of a PR campaign that deflected all the negative press attention about the horrible side effects and suicides from Prozac. Of course, he's also intimately tied in with the George Bush, Dan Quayle, neocon power structure. So, according to Tucker's source, he's the current favorite. But then, of course, we've got Marco Rubio, Florida senator, who's proven his worth as a globalist attack dog, calling for the invasions of Syria and Iran. And, of course, he gave a Council on Foreign Relations speech back on May 31st in New York. So Romney's expected to announce his VP choice a few weeks before the RNC in August, and the current odds are showing that Rubio's in second favorite position with at 7-2, whereas Daniels is quite a way down the list at 16-1. So it's something of a long shot, according to Tucker's source. But I mean, according to what he's saying, Daniels is favorite to be Romney's VP. I still think it looks more like Rubio because he's been the choice for a long time. He's also given speeches at several internationalist confabs.
Our money is being used to build a giant military machine up for us. 30,000 drones, armed drones, SWAT teams, checkpoints, TSA everywhere. This is it. I kept telling you this is coming. Rand Corporation run. Mitch Daniels, by the way, headed the Rand Corporation, the Hudson Institute, its main inner think tank, and deep research on the Bilderberg's favorite right now for VP, and that's Mitch Daniels, the former head of Eli Lilly, the former head of the inner think tank of the Rand Corporation, which is the upper tower of the globalist eugenics mass murder complex. Super hardcore information coming up on that front. And that's been pre-planned for a long time. Here's a book I'm going to get to in a future show or today if we have time. Future Government, United World Federation, Our Future World by Harriet S. Abels. And there's a whole series of these inside here, a whole series of these books on future travel, science, space, food, family, communications, medicine, business, government. I actually remember, this came out in 1980, this series. I remember reading these in the library. And it says world government, you're going to live in communal homes, everything we thought was new that we heard from Zeitgeist. None of it's new. Everything that, the Soviets said they were going to build in Russia. This is what they always, and it shows all the little kids in their spaceship happy, and it says world government, space federation, and everything you do is going to be controlled. It says here is the flag of the one world government that everyone will serve, everyone will share and pay taxes to. It says drones will watch over you and make sure you're good and carry out suicide missions against bad people. I'm actually quoting this. See the drone? This is 1980. It's all been pre-planned. This is all Rand Corporation. In fact, I went and looked it up. Direct connection. And this is who they are. There's the new planetary megacities. You're not allowed to go outside of them. War will be over, of course, with the world government. Yeah, sure. And it says right here, world government. See that? World government. World government. Ladies and gentlemen, we are bathed in propaganda, and I know you know this, but if we can just get the general public to realize that all of this is like a matrix of fake news, disinfo, brainwashing, and that there is an organized criminal group that doesn't just want to dominate and take over. They openly say that once this thing is in place, they're going to organize the predatory killing through wars, bioweapons, you name it, of at least 80%. We Are Change just got an interview with Ted Turner because he was finding more and more documents in Rand Corporation, all Bilderberg, all eugenics, poisoning the food, blood with HIV in it for little kids, the hemophiliacs, mass murder, death, killing, Eli Lilly, all of it. I mean, it is so incredible what they've done to us. And I know I'm ranting. Mike Adams is going to be, again, doing the second half of the show today. He's here doing traffic control right now with us. Mike, I want to run through some more. We've got Aaron coming in with a breakdown on Mitch Daniels in the next segment. But seeing all of this lawless government openly declaring war on us, openly saying, yeah, we spy on you without warrants. Yeah, there's drones in the skies. Yeah, we're delivering armored tanks to local police departments. Yeah, we're gearing up for war with you. Now, yeah, we're getting armored pillboxes for the highways. Yeah, we're buying 450 million rounds of 40 cal. Yeah, we're doing it. I mean, it is on. They are getting ready, Mike. It's coming soon, and we've got to absolutely get the word out like Paul Revere's of every race, color, creed, and religion, and male, female, you name it. We have all got to do maximum effort right now, and we can back them off. But once they pull the trigger on this, Mike, it is going to be one bloody civil war. I'm going to get arrested. You're going to get arrested. It's going to be dead cops and military everywhere. The next wave plan is public. They're going to bring in I-4 NATO. They're telling the military this. Hell on earth is about to be released. We are in an emergency brinksmanship operation. We've got to just 110% pedal to the metal, hammer in against these people in the info war. And it may be like the Alamo. Some of us may get wiped out up front, but that's what it takes to win against these people. There is no future if they're not defeated. Info war, 110%. What do you say, Mike Adams?
They really want to move forward on the war
Stay there.
front.
I'm glad we're getting into the agenda. On the other side, I want to break down the vice president that Bilderberg likes, what's going on with all of that and more. I'm Alex Jones.
Henry Kravis is one of those angels of death. He was part of the largest utilities buyout of all time in Texas, TXU, and there was admitted insider trading,
they're consolidating the economy to wreck it, folks. That's the thing. They say that's their plan.
Citigroup and Goldman Sachs and others admittedly were insider trading on that buyout deal. That's how they roll. Meanwhile, they're all behind the toll roads. That scheme hasn't died. Mitch Daniels, who now may be the vice president, is part of that scheme as well. The NAFTA superhighway.
Yeah, I want you to break down Mitch Daniels. Mike Adams is riding shotgun with us. This is the governor of Indiana. Let's just look into a window of Bilderberg into just Mitch Daniels, who they want. They don't want Rand Paul. We've got that from sources that they don't like his father. They don't trust Rand Paul, obviously, because he's not a globalist, but he's a little more political. They do not like Rand Paul. They like Mitch Daniels. Rubio went to the CFR and promised world government as well at the same time. But go over the data sheet you wrote up last night from all public sources. And Aaron's going to do an article later today on this. Well, go over this monster.
Well, in short, Mitch Daniels ties into the George H.W. Bush power structure, but even more than that,
he's a Quayle frontman.
Dan Quayle. The Quayle family basically owns Indiana. Each state has its own little mini cartels, and Mitch Daniels worked with Eli Lilly. He was head of the corporation that the Quayle family owns a controlling interest. You wonder why they sold us on all these gaffes about how stupid Dan Quayle was, how he couldn't spell potato, or how he thought a $4 job at Burger King was a sign of economic progress. That's all to keep you from looking at the admitted ties he has.
Yeah, just like how the Queen's cute. That's a standard psych warfare operation. These are genius-level, vicious killer psychopaths. Okay, I mean, again, they got the aspartame approved, they got the Prozac approved, and then he was the front man to cover up all the mass deaths and suicides. Keep breaking him down.
And of course, Eli Lilly is the top producer of thimerosal that they put in vaccines, and under the George W. Bush administration, they tried to sneak in total dismissal of all thimerosal-based vaccine lawsuits under the Homeland Security Bill in 2002. But that's to protect us from 9/11, Alex. But Mitch Daniels is a lifelong lobbyist through the Reagan administration, through the Bush administration for Eli Lilly. He headed the company in the late 80s, early 90s. Before that, he was president and CEO of the Hudson Institute.
You're on camera.
Who is the Hudson Institute? Well, they're basically the Rand Corporation. It was founded just like the Rand Corporation by Herman Kahn and his buddies. They call it a conservative think tank. I don't see what the scientific, military, industrial think tank business has anything to do with the idea of conservatism.
This is a scientific scientific takeover of the economy. And that's why they get even more globalism under Republicans. Anybody that thinks Mitt Romney's going to save them has a hole in their head. And again, I'm not even attacking Mitt Romney himself or Obama. They are non-consequential. There will be no difference but in rhetoric, folks. This is a scientific blueprint takeover in their own words. Tell them about how he was the head of the highest subgroup that directs Rand.
Yeah, that is the Hudson Institute. Today, it's headed by Henry Kravis's wife, Marie-José Kravis. They meet annually at Bilderberg, but it used to be Mitch Daniels. They're absolutely part of the top power structure. They're a lot more secretive than these other groups, and they really steer the way this whole system is going. And you can see how it interlocks with Eli Lilly. Immediately after leaving the CIA, George Herbert Walker Bush went to the Eli Lilly Corporation on the board of directors, put there by the Quayle family.
And there's toll roads run through it all. I mean, it's just insane. Yeah. And it's every one of these guys. Once you start looking at them, they're connected to all the other groups. And what's the number one thing? It's pushing poison on the public, fluoride in the water, GMO, McDonald's. It's all been a plan.
I'm suspicious of Scientology as well, but that whole demonization of Scientology came about from Quayle and Bush and Mitch Daniels in the early 90s when they almost stopped Prozac, killed its market share, and were about to have it removed. Instead, they released hit piece after hit piece in all the major papers to make them look crazy. Maybe they are. That's up to you to decide. But they didn't like them attacking Eli Lilly's Prozac. Mitch Daniels, in particular.
At bare minimum, the Scientologists are a competitor group with the globalists. They want to. That's the argument that they want to be them.
Well, I'm not even getting into Scientology, but they were hurting the Prozac
certainly
shares.
They know what's going on.
And Mitch Daniels was a specialist at defending the role of Prozac in the public's mind, and it drove market shares right back up, spiked up there as they continued to put thimerosal in the vaccines. It tried to get themselves immunity on it. Mitch Daniels is an angel of death, just like many of the others.
That's a good headline.
But he was part of the Indiana toll roads again. Sentra and Macri with their thumbprints all over it.
And they take over. Now they're going to get MOPAC, a paid-for road, alter the lane that you get and turn it into a toll road, even though that's illegal. Bush signed an executive order saying they could. He has an executive order overthrow law. And it's just total criminal takeover.
They get these conglomerates.
And they do these fake choices. It could all be toll road or only part. What do you want? And again, while they block all the other roads being built and steal all the money, they have a surplus in Texas. It's total criminality.
No, they're the masters of the false left-right paradigm. It's not just Obama and Romney. It's Coke and Pepsi meet at Bilderberg. It's one writer at Bilderberg says, let's use diplomacy in Syria. The other writer says, let's bomb them right now today.
And let's starve them, Fareed Zakaria.
Exactly.
I mean, these people are unbelievable. They're masters of controlling a fake paradigm, a false reality. It's like going to Disney World. It's its own city. It's its own town. It's fake. Okay,
oh, yeah.
And again, look up Disney World Pentagon Laboratory. You'll find out the whole thing's a Pentagon Laboratory. For Fallujah, and you're like, Fallujah, how to lock a city down, how to have biometrics, and you're paying to be part of a laboratory. I mean, these people are unbelievable.
The more you read into this, the more you see that the CIA just bleeds over into the Rand Corporation, bleeds over into Bilderberg. These people
admit Google's NSA created, as I told you, decades. I mean, this all here.
Yeah, and they have huge conglomerates to suck out the profits while they make the public pay for infrastructure. Mitch Daniels, again, not only did the toll road, he put a new tax.
Yeah, so there's really not just the government. There's this corporate private state where they're now transferring its power over to it completely, calling it privatization. That's why they're flirting with libertarians, because it's a fake libertarian system.
Oh, but privatization. Mitch Daniels put a new tax on the people of Indiana so they could build sports stadiums, the Lucas Oil Stadium, the Indiana Convention Center.
Which, again, is a psych warfare center.
Tax
they
on
can also
liquor
use to put them in the camp, yeah.
It was a tax on liquor, though, so it sounds like he's doing something good. But the point is, he's a continuation of Quayle and Bush. I didn't even get into how they rigged the FDA so they could approve biotech, sell vaccines unapproved by the FDA overseas.
Nanotech is already in most people's brains. It's in hundreds of foods. They're put engineered into it. We've all been hit with cancer viruses. We'll be back with Mike Adams straight ahead. Final segment before I hand the baton to Mike Adams. I'm Alex Jones of PrisonPlanet.tv. Live video feed free